So yes, it's important. All of us know. Yes, I mean not all of us. Sorry. Whenever I say all of us, I just mean that a couple of us. Buggy. So you can ignore that. Yeah. But anyways, like I believe that if not used, but you guys have seen Python somewhere here and there, right? We can just write some statement here and sorry, right? So Python is just weird language in the like whole sense. Um, in the sense, like my personal opinion is that Python was initially like I don't know what was the motivation of Python, but I think people have started using it for low level as well. And then they start complaining about things like performance and all. Like some things were just not designed initially to work that way, right? I got the home assignment from ThinkCell. Are they nice? But yeah, we can talk more about this on Discord, Vix. I do have some opinions on it. But yeah, I'm really good. Keep going. Okay. Um, but anyways, see, ठीक है. The point is, okay, so in 1990 is probably when the first Python version came up, or when Python got embedded into this world, right? And I'm referring to this talk I heard in the last 45 minutes. I was just preparing for the stream, so yeah, feel free to quote me on that, and feel free to CC Larry Hastings for it as well, as he said whatever I'm saying, and I'm trying to be accurate, okay? But anyways, so what happened in 1990, this came up, right? At that time, you guys know that there was only one CPU, like you could use it. There was no concept called multiple core system, right? Like even if you had to have it, you need to have a couple of CPUs, and then you will say that, okay, I have multi-core setup, right? And then kind of design it along way, like that way. So it was not very popular in terms of like regular users or something, and not very accessible as well, right? And by the way, um, I like if you guys know about threads and processes, do you how much of like how many of you do know about processes versus threads? What's the difference? Do you know what's the difference between process and a thread? So I have a process, I have a thread. What do you make out of it? Like what's the difference? What could be the difference? Huh? Come on guys. I want everyone to kind of start answering. So I thought both are the same thing. Processes are made of threads. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, no, they're not the same thing. Process starts with P, threads starts. He uses Java, by the way. So don't judge him by that. He just doesn't care what's happening. But anyways, jokes apart, guys. See, the thing is, processes like threads are just like lightweight um, processes, right? Yep, that's what I said, Dave. The point is, right? In processes, you cannot have a shared state. Threads have shared memory, right? So let's say if there's a thread 1, there's thread 2, then you can have shared state between them. Okay, thread 2 is using this, then you can know that, okay, what is that using? Process is totally different, right? Okay, so that's why multiprocessing and multi-threading is different. Okay, and that's just a like very brief introduction to what is thread versus process, right? And now the point is, at that time there was no like multi-core thing and all. So of course, like you will have cores and you will have threads and all. How many threads you could have, so how many processes you could have in parallel, and all these depends on your system as well and your CPU as well. But at that point of time, it was not the first challenge that people had. Okay, so all the Python maintainers, whatever, right, that was going on. So that was not the main thing that they wanted to focus on, right? Um, so I don't want to show you guys these things. Wait. Let's open stream.md because I just want to make it थोड़ा सा suspense for you guys क्योंकि मैंने मेहनत करके पढ़ा है. I don't want you guys to immediately know all the suspense and leave. I'm just kidding. So this is important, okay? So far so good. Now point was in 1992, I think, I don't remember the date, but of course by then even Linux did not have threads, okay? So Linux kernel was not supporting threads or did not have threads, okay, you could say anything like that. But Windows NT, which was some operating system that Windows was working on, they started to have a plan for threads, okay? So they apparently Windows was the first to have threads, and I could be wrong, but this is what I understood from the video as well. And then Linux like started supporting it as well in a couple of years or something, right? So a point क्या हो जाता है ना? So see, that time some Sun City क्या बोल रहा हूँ, the Sun Corporation and all, whatever, they were supporting threads, but they used to call it as lightweight processes, okay? So for so long, threads have been called as lightweight processes, okay? Now the point is, As the time moved along, right now let me open my notes.md. Okay, this is important, you guys can see. So just focus on the starting two lines, right? So 2005, single CPU started having multiple cores for the first time. So 2005, that's around 19 years back. It just feels like yesterday for me. But like 2005 is a single CPU started having multiple cores for the first time. Okay, so that means that there were going to be many use cases of people demanding threads. Okay, and then 2014 we were having wristwatches went multi-core. Okay, so at that time, like before this, laptops started having multi-cores, gaming systems started having multi-cores and all. So it was an era where a single chip would have all these technologies embedded into it, right? So these things are very important. Okay, and that's when, like, as the hardware moves along, software goes along as well, right? So they move together, right? So in 2007, Guido van Rossum, he works for Microsoft now. He is in Microsoft. I don't know if I should say works for Microsoft, whatever it is, but he's the main author of Python as well, right? And he in 2007 went ahead and said that he is welcoming a set of patches into Pi 3K. At that time, they used to call it Pi 3K. That means Python 3 point whatever version. Only if the performance for a single threaded program and for a multi-threaded but IO bound program does not decrease. So he started accepting patches into Python 3 point whatever version, right? And he was very adamant about it that the performance should not increase for a single threaded program, because still you want to keep the performance whatever we have for single threads while being able to use multi-threaded but IO bound programs. So do you guys know about what is IO bound and CPU bound? How many of you do not know about it? What's IO bound and what's CPU bound? Come on, guys. Since this live stream, I'd like some responses as soon as possible. Input or output bound. Okay, Vix, that's a full form of it. But do we know what is IO bound? Like, wait for input output response. So no, so IO bound program essentially probably very close, but see, the point is whenever that's something that is IO intensive, right? That means that you have a lot of operations being done on, let's say if I'm typing something, if I'm loading a file and all, that is simple IO bound, because okay, you're loading a driver, like whatever, like you inserted a CD, like you remember DVD driver and all, right? So these things are like IO bound. Okay, there's no CPU intensive task that is going on. There's no memory that is being taken and all. But CPU intensive, there could be you're running an algorithm and all, that's CPU intensive task, right? Like, okay, CPU is gonna have more power on that. And see, the point is with CPU intensive things, um, they are very thread greedy. What that means is they want to acquire a thread for long, because it's CPU intensive. You want to do it for long, want to continue doing it, or you're not done with the algorithm. Done, like algorithm is not done yet. Whatever you're processing is not done yet. You want it to continue and have the thread with yourself. Okay, so we're gonna talk about something that is very important. It's called ref counting. Yeah, thread life cycle. Okay, perfect. At least there's some background knowledge that you guys are having. Let's go to our stream.md again. See, the point is, let's start with this. Okay, this is very important concept in ref counting. Okay, and what does it mean? Do you guys know what is ref counting? How many of you know this term? Are? 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 एक second. Nope, you guys don't know about. Okay, what about everyone else? वरु कहाँ गया? बी टर्म नहीं है क्या? आई थॉट आई एनेबल्ड इट. ऐसे कैसे? दिस इज वियर्ड. आई वाज सर्वाइविंग विदाउट. डूम सिंक करना पड़ेगा. अरे सॉरी यार. Nope. Okay. All right. I'm not going to wait further, but let me explain what is ref counting, and I'm going to explain with an example. Let's just let it build first. 1 second. Okay. Cool. We have got it done. Let's go and open stream. Stream.md, and let's open vterm. Vterm is just like gonna open a terminal within my. Array. Sorry. Damn, and doom to path. Welcome back, Varu. I was asking this question. Do you guys know about how many of you know about what is all of that efforts? Just use tmux. Array? Nahi hai. Guys, let me put myself on the top instead. Thoda better. Sorry, I got AFK. It's okay. Teamwork's cutting use. Yes, no, not IO bound, but do you guys know about what's ref counting? So he gave an example, Larry Hastings, right? So at this point, A equal to an empty list, okay? No, okay. So I'll explain this thing, Wagi, okay? So A is an empty list right now. So empty list is essentially an object. Everything is an object in Python, right? And ref counting is just, see, there are two ways to do garbage collection. That's, yeah, Varu. Uh, okay, so look at this. There are two ways that you can do it. That's one is pure garbage collection, okay? And there could be more ways as well, but there are two ways that I'm aware of. And then there's ref counting, okay? So what does it do? Okay, what do each one of these things do? Okay, so pure garbage collection is essentially that you monitor using an algorithm or anything that you have. If there's any object that should be deleted, that should be deallocated. Okay, and then what is ref counting? Garbage collector for C. Okay, perfect. So what is ref counting in that case? So ref counting is that you wait for an object. Okay, you wait, like not essentially wait, whenever you keep a count of for how many folks are interested in this object. Okay, and this is what you do. Oh, typical, I think Emacs something. Okay, so what happens is over here, when you have created A equal to an empty list, right? And when I do import sys, right, I can actually do sys dot get ref count and I can do A, right? At this point, it's 2. Can anyone tell why? Anyone? So the reason over here is, see, whenever you allocated an empty list to A, I can't, okay, don't know. I'll tell you why. So at this point, you want to say that, okay, A is interested in an empty list. So this makes sense that, okay, all right, ref count should be how much? 1. Why? Because an empty list is being in, like, it's getting interest, okay? Just think in that way. Now you have another list, okay? And then, sorry, you should not have done that. But let's say A equal to B or something. And now sys.get ref count is of A is 3. GIL, okay, wait for it. GIL is just a lock. It's not really how many folks are interested, how many variables are interested, how many people are actually looking for this particular object. Okay, that's different. So over here, A is an empty list, right? And it's A is already getting interested with this empty list, right? Then you do A equal to B as well. So this time it has increased. Why? Because B is also now interested or whatever, right? So the way it should be, it should have been right now over here should be 1. Right? At this point, there's only one object that is referring to it, so it should just be 1. You can call it a pointer. But internally, what happens when you do sys.get ref count, right? It also, because even when you're doing get ref count, you want to access A as well, right? So it also increases the ref count. Why? Because even this function is now interested in A, right? So at this point, ref count becomes 2. But once this function is done implementing, the ref count goes back to 1. Okay, so what happens after this, if you had delete A, right, and if I would do this, it will not tell you anything. Why? Because delete A will essentially deallocate memory for you, right? But same thing, like at any point of time, if you would do sys.refcount B, and then like it will decrease every once, and then like whenever you are done playing around with that particular object, it will decrease the ref count as well. And when the ref count is 0, what will it do? It will deallocate the memory. Like, okay, that's the way the garbage collection is working in Python. Okay, so it doesn't really use an algorithm to track that, okay, which object to deallocate. Okay, this is done, let's deallocate this. They use ref counting approach. Okay, now that's where the problem came with threading. Okay, and maybe it's more like historical. I don't know what the implementation detail is right now in 2024, but so far so good. Okay, now what happens, let me actually go to CPython implementation. So by the way, guys, there are multiple implementations of CPython. There's like CPython, there's Jython, and then there is Iron. At least in that, I don't know if there's Iron Python. Yeah. Okay. So there are many implementations of Python. Wow, they even were releasing in 2023. It's crazy. When did it started? When did it start? I don't know. But anyways, so they don't have GIL, by the way. Iron Python and Python, if I'm not wrong, bracket Python. Could be many things are there, right? So PyPy is also there. That's the second most popular. I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay, let's go and look at documents, projects, source codes. Let's clone it. Oops, sorry. So I'm gonna just get it there. Okay, and then we can start. क्या चल रहा है guys? Are you guys still here? 9 watching. Can anyone say hi in the chat at least? Whoever is here, I will appreciate that you guys can say hi. And yes, don't forget to follow if you're new, but there's no push at all. Anyways, once this is should whenever you do get cloned, by the way, do like sparse or something just to make sure that you don't end up. Yes, hi Nihal. ठीक है. Say hi or we start stealing your cookies. Your cookies. That's a good way to say it. स्त्री 2 देख ली तुम लोगों ने? मुझे भूख लगने लगी अभी. Okay. I'll just let it finish. ठीक है. So anyways, the point is ठीक है, जब threads like when threads started coming in picture, okay, so what happened is that people wanted to acquire, like, I'll tell you, see, one thread is, let's say, pointing to A object, okay, and A is an empty list right now. There's another thread who wants to work on A. That's the whole point of threading, right? You can share memory, you can share objects, you can share do and that, whatever, right? So अब क्या होता है, दो threads are trying to access A, and at, let's say if my thread says, okay, I'm done with accessing A, so ref count goes, like, decrements by 1, okay? Whenever it decrements by 1 and when it goes down to 0, what do you want to do? You want to deallocate memory. But thread 2 is also in, just like, it's accessing it, but it's not done accessing or whatever. So at that time, thread 2 was still accessing A, and thread 1 has done accessing A, and the ref count goes to 0. And at that time, A does not exist anymore. See, that was the problem with the implementation we had. We had in the sense, like, Python had at that time, okay? So the obvious question is that, like, whenever you're doing ref counting, whenever you're doing these things, you could have a lock that says that, hey, I'm accessing it. Once I'm done, then I'm gonna say that I'm done accessing it, now you take over, right? So when you're doing ref count, you don't allow anyone to access that as well, right? So that was the whole point. Let's go and let's search for actually क्या था? I forgot. Array, sorry. Begin allow threads. Yeah. So they have a variable py begin allow threads. Okay. And I'm gonna just show a random code over here. So I'm here. Hi, I was listening. Good, good, good. ठीक है चलेगा. ठीक है. Over here, what's happening is calling Python GIL state ensure in a non-Python thread must not crash. So this looks like a random test. Okay, this is a C language, and FII, they also, Python is one of the languages which provides C API as well. So you can actually call these functions from C as well. That's why. What's happening here? I want to show you guys this thing. Okay. So what does it do? Py begin allow threads, then you do acquire lock, wait lock, whatever. You're trying to acquire some lock, wait until the thread exit. Once the thread exists, then you say end allow threads. Okay. So let's actually try and understand what does it mean. Py begin allow threads, relibs Python stream soon. देखते हैं क्या कब क्या क्या टाइम मिलता है. So over here, yes, this is something probably in your reference could be important. नहीं मुझे py ref count is something that you can use, right, for getting the ref count of an object. Py GIL disabled if defined. So this is where they have probably, they are now handling the GIL. Okay, by the way, like, it's still possible to disable, get rid of GIL as well. Okay, it's not that it's not there. What I want to see is, wait a minute, there was this thing he was mentioning in the initial stream, not stream actually, but There were many things that he was mentioning. I just want to go to that, but actually, I guess I can show you all what I mean. So over here, yeah, this thing, right? So pi begin allow threads, other threads may run now, and then pi end allow threads. So this is something that I want to read. Was the integrated part of Python? Like an integrate. What do you mean by integrated part? What was it? So I let's actually read a bit about pi begin allow threads. Yeah, there you go. Let's search for pi. Pi अच्छा नीचे रहता है क्या ये? Yes, releasing the GIL from extension code. Yes, most extension code manipulating the GIL has the following simple structure. Save the thread state in a local variable, release the global interpreter lock, do some blocking in IO operation, reacquire the global interpreter lock, restore the thread state from the local variable. Okay, so this is like for releasing GIL. Whenever you do want to do IO operation that blocks everything, right? That uses all, and unless until it is done, you don't do anything else, right? Opens a new block and declares a hidden local variable. The pi end allow threads macro does the closes the block. So the block above expands to the following code. You have a thread state. You save the thread into that state. Then you do some blocking IO operation and then you restore thread. The global interpreter lock is used to protect the pointer to the current thread state. When releasing the lock and saving the thread state, the current thread state pointer must be retrieved before the lock is released. Okay, wait a minute. Calm down. What's going on? Uh, do you guys understand any of these things? See, when there's an operation that is going on, and when you want to say that okay, I want to get rid of GIL, which is global interpreter lock. Should have talked about GIL first. Let's go through GIL first and then talk about this. Sorry. ठीक है थोड़ा बात कर लेते हैं. I think यही है. The mechanism used by C Python interpreter to assure that only one thread executes Python bytecode at a time. Yeah, like this is essentially what it does, right? Simple thing. So if I'm doing something and if I want to say that okay, एक operation thread already like एक thread एक time पे एक ही काम करेगा, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, एक time पे एक ही thread काम करेगा, right? This simplifies the CPython implementation by making the object model implicitly safe against concurrent access. As I said, एक time पे अगर एक ही object को दो thread access कर रही हैं, so that is of course gonna cause you some like concurrent access hoga, so how will you do ref count and all, that's gonna impact. Okay, locking the entire interpreter makes it easier for the interpreter to be multi-threaded at the expense of much of the parallelism afforded by multiprocessor machines. See, this is very important. Now what you're doing is a thread is working already, it's implementing a bytecode, the other thread cannot implement any bytecode at all. Right now that's what GIL is doing. Now, even though this is very bad because now it means is multi-threading nahi ho rahi hai, then there's multi-processor machines. What that means is you can have multi-processors, you can have multiple processes, but you are essentially not having multiple threads. However, some extension modules, either standard or third party, are designed so as to release the GIL. Thread is always released during IO. Yes, that's something that we're going to discuss here as well. देखते हैं थोड़ा नीचे जाते हैं. However, some extension modules, either standard or third party, are designed so as to release the GIL when doing computationally intensive tasks such as compression or hashing. ठीक है, as like which we have discussed before, ये जो computation intensive tasks होते हैं, they are like essentially CPU bound tasks, right? उन cases में you want to use multi-threading, you want to have multiple threads implementing bytecodes, executing bytecode at a time, that is allowed. Also, the GIL is always released when doing IO because it's like you can't probably, I don't know, but it seems like it was a safe thing to do. I don't know why. Like I want to know why is it always released when doing IO. Past efforts to create a free-threaded interpreter, one which locks shared data at a much finer granularity, have not been successful because performance suffered in the common single processor case. It is believed that overcoming this performance issue would make the implementation much more complicated and therefore costlier to maintain. No, no, but like let's say that if a particular thread, if there are two threads who are trying to read a same file, right? So what will happen? So what does it mean? Like Yes. Why is a Python IO bound task not blocked by the GIL? Okay. All of Python's blocking IO primitives release the GIL while waiting for the IO block to resolve. It's as simple as that. They'll of course need to acquire the GIL again before going on to execute further Python code. But for the long in terms of machine cycles intervals in which they're just waiting for some IO syscall, they don't need the GIL, so they don't hold on to it. The GIL in C Python is only concerned with Python code being executed. A thread safe C extension that uses a lot of CPU might release the GIL as long as it does not need to interact with the Python runtime. As soon as the C code needs to talk to Python, read, call back into Python runtime, then it needs to acquire the GIL again. That is, the GIL is to establish protection or atomic behavior for the interpreter and is not to prevent native or non-Python code from running concurrently. So what they mean is any C code that does not need to talk to Python that can have the GIL released. Reading same file is anyways right. Writing makes sense. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I think they mean probably. Releasing the GIL around IO, blocking or not, using CPU or not, is the same thing. Until the data is moved into Python, there's no reason to acquire a GIL. So until the data that is moved to Python, probably the same thing, right? So that's what we are saying. That once you have read it, then it goes to Python, and then that's probably whenever you write something, it's more like a processing thing, and in that case, GIL is required. Is it? Am I understanding it right? Let me see. Array. Let's ask ChatGPT for this. Okay. Copy. खुल नहीं रहा यार. Ask him. Okay, खुल गया. Why is a Python IO bound task not array not blocked by the GIL? Okay. The GIL in Python ensures that only one thread executes Python bytecode at a time, such as file reading or writing. Network requests or database operations are often not blocked by GIL. Why? The GIL primarily affects CPU bound tasks where the work involves heavy computations. For these type of tasks, only one thread can execute Python code at any given moment because the GIL protects access to Python objects to prevent race conditions. That we both understand, right? I mean, sorry, not just both, but everyone. Because अगर हो सकता है कि एक algorithm आप एक पे run कर रहे हो and the other thing is also trying to access it, maybe उसका the variable has been incremented, the value has changed, anything, right? पूछते हैं एक बार यहाँ पे इसको पढ़ते हैं फिर पूछते हैं. IO bound tasks release the GIL. IO bound tasks spend most of their time waiting for external resources, such as waiting for a file to load, waiting for network response, or waiting for input or output operations to complete. When Python encounters an IO operation, it often releases the GIL, allowing other threads to run Python code while the current thread waits for the IO. This makes IO bound tasks inherently more parallelizable. So this is what it means, right? So while you're basically waiting for a file to be available, right? Waiting for a file to load, waiting for a network response, waiting for output operations to complete. That's exactly right. Because programming language is not doing this, right? So if I'm writing to a file, it's probably like, okay, you're writing to a file, let me know once you're done. Meanwhile, the global interpreter lock is done. That means the other threads now can execute a bytecode, right? Now the point is, what if it's trying to write to a file? I think this write operation is anyways, when you're writing to a file, it will anyways not be available. So in that case, it is already like atomic, I hope. Let's ask. So let's say if I'm writing to a file via two threads at the same time. Array? Okay guys, you know what? Yeah, exactly. Maybe the OS takes care. Okay, I'm not using a split keyboard anymore. What if two threads are using writing to a same file? What would happen in that case? GIL is released. This should be developer's decision to deal with and not the language. Could be. But then if it wait, what do you mean? I don't think it's something that we should do though. It's a dumb thing to do anyways, right? Like writing to a same file via same threads. I mean multiple threads, right? When two threads are writing to a same file concurrently in Python, the global interpreter lock is released during the IO operation. The GI will not prevent potential issues such as race conditions or data corruption. Here's what could happen. Since the GIL is released during IO operations, the two threads could write to the file at almost the same time. Yeah, that's a programming language thing. Yes. I think in that case, you have to do with lock or something, right? Yes. Just the whole point of releasing GIL is that other threads are now available. So with this IO bound tasks, the whole point is it avoids race conditions. कहाँ लिखा है? Preventing interleaved writes and all. So you could use a lock. Don't do such shit. Yeah. Essentially, see what I do understand from overall this point is that if you are having an IO bound task, the point is that it takes some time for things to be available when the, like as I said, external sources, for example, if you're making sure that okay, is the mouse available, so at that time you're just waiting, right? You're not doing anything else. So that's like more like a sleep operation, right? In that case, what you can do is you can allow the other threads to just ensure that okay, you can go ahead and execute a bytecode. This is what I'm no, this is race condition तो कहीं हुआ ही नहीं यूज यार यहाँ पे. The point is, oh nahi, before this, it did say that race conditions are avoided with GN, that's why it exists. Yes, that's why it exists, but probably, oh, you meant for um, heavy computations or na? Yeah, they remain, right? Because the GIL protects access to Python objects to prevent race conditions. So Python object is different, but in this case, I think that's more on the OS side. Yeah, it's just IO, right? But what do you mean by, yeah? Dave, I think you might want to explain a bit further. I didn't get you totally, but okay, fine. So far we do get this point, right? Ki, okay, when I have an IO bound operation, I can trust that okay, it's gonna take like my another thread can still do a CPU bound operation or can do whatever it wants. It will be allowed. The only problem is when you are doing CPU bound operation and you're trying to access same Python objects and all. In that case, is problem, right? So over here, this is what they are saying. Releasing the GIL, that is possible. So you save the thread state into a local variable. So now you understand. So this lock, whenever you are basically releasing this, okay, you want to save the current thread state, release the global interpreter lock. Now you're allowed to do some blocking IO operation. Then again reacquire the lock because now you should continue whatever you're doing. Restore the thread from the local variable. It's opened as a Python object though, but I don't think that the whole open operation is done by Python language itself for compiler, right? I think that goes into the OS side. So while you're waiting for that file to be loaded, you can allow any other thread to go and execute. There will be still race conditions problem. I do understand that we could replicate. Maybe give us an example. For example, give an example of possible race condition while doing IO bound operation with couple of threads, maybe writing to a same file at the same time. Okay, let's try to just see if there is an example. Okay, what happened? यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? What's really happening here? बिन कुछ कहे बिन कुछ सुने क्या हो रहा है? My net is dead, guys. Can you hear me? Or this OpenAI thing is dead. You are back to the AI. ये क्या मतलब होता है? Free GPT for all. That's what happens, right? I was thinking to go for Cloud A. Let's see. So here basically you're writing to a same file, shared file.txt, and you are writing 100 times thread ID. Then you have two threads, create two threads. Target is equal to this write to file, which is the function. Who is it? Why don't you specify? अच्छा गलत हो गया. And ठीक है देखते हैं एक second. Start the thread and wait for the threads to complete. In this example, we have two threads attempting to write to the same file concurrently. File opening, both threads might try to open the file simultaneously, potentially causing conflicts in file handling. Okay, let's see. Let's try to call it. Wait, and I believe that we should be able to go to sample. No, what was the file? Shared file.txt. So as you can see, it says thread 1. Okay, this is good, this is good, this is good. 97 thread 1. Now you see there's definitely a difference. Right towards the file. अरे चलेगा. What's together? Okay, okay. Oh, you mean that. Okay. ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. But you see, this is what's going on, right? But it was fast, right? So that could be the reason. B. ठीक है. Anyways, you do see like thread 1 is writing 95 while thread 2 is writing 99. So thread 2 got finished earlier. So there was definitely this. You can see that the order is not what you would have expected. Ki thread 1, while it's completing, thread 2 will also complete. It will not wait. Both threads are trying to. I believe that over here the GIL was released. So both threads were executing the bytecode together, right? Let's see. And actually, I would like to, maybe one day we can build C Python and see what happens. Yes. This is an important point data fix. Okay. When a thread calls open or performs write operation with f.write, these are IO operations. During these operations, C Python releases its GIL, allowing the other thread to run. So while the other thread can also go and read the file. Okay. चलो ठीक है. I think this makes sense so far. ठीक है. Let me know if not. Let me also share this link on our Discord, guys. Whatever that's happening here. ठीक है. ये हमने देखा था. And there was this static. What was the thing? ठीक है. So far, this is what is important. ठीक है. Okay, so this is how you can use. Now I want to go into this macro. This macro expands to pythread state save equal to pythread eval save thread. Note that it contains an opening brace. It must be matched with the following py and allow threads. Macro see above for further discussion on macro. Okay, yes. So this is like what I want to say is, okay, you release the global interpreter lock, you reacquire it again, right? Py initialize now initializes the GIL. Initialize the Python interpreter. In an application embedding Python, this should be called before using any other Python C API functions. This initializes a table of loaded modules and creates the fundamental modules, whatever. It also initializes the search path. It does not do this and that. This is a no op when called for a second time without calling this. There's no return value. It is a fatal error, whatever. Okay. ठीक है. अब मेरे को देखना है what we want to see, what we want to understand now. How does NumPy and like started to release GIL? Okay, as an example, just to understand how it works. Okay, so we will go through NumPy code base. I do think that I had no, 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 no. Oh, I didn't have it before. चलो ठीक है, let's just import, let's just clone NumPy. ठीक है. I'm surprised I never cloned it here. NumPy. Is it .org? No. I need to get water, guys. बहुत ज़्यादा पेट दुख रही है. पेट नहीं, उससे ज़्यादा दिमाग दुख रहा है मेरा. 1 second, guys. पानी ले आते हैं, तब तक इसको क्लोन होने देते हैं. I'll be back. Need थोड़ा break. Where is my OBS? OBS कहाँ गया भाई? ये रहा. Go get water. Yes, BRB. ये थोड़ा ऐसे होना चाहिए था ना. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, छोड़ो. What are you guys talking about? I'm back. थोड़ा और सुनाओ सब। थोड़ा मुझे जॉब करे तब तक भाई जन हमारे गए हुए हैं। कर्सर मूविंग वो ओ शिट सो सबके सब बेशरम हो। ठीक है, इधर देखो। लेट्स लेट्स ओपन। ta 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 ta. Okay, yes, config documents, projects, source codes, numpy. Ta-da. And let's try to just search for py begin allow threads, right? So this is what they are basically doing, right? Thread safe uses this block around the call to Fortran or C functions. So essentially whenever they are calling C or Fortran function, as they said, like the only problem with the CIL is that you cannot execute a Python bytecode, but you can probably do call a Fortran or C function. So maybe that's why they're releasing it. All right, F2PY statements. Let's search for how they use thread safe. So they have a test for it, right? Seg faults if the callback handling is not. What am I doing? Sorry guys, I should keep it. कितना यूज कर लो यार स्प्लिट कीबोर्ड। आई थिंक सम थिंग्स आर ऑलवेज बेटर विद नॉर्मल कीबोर्ड। यार एक सेकंड पानी लेने तो पीना तो भूल ही गया। You can share Cloud link also. Oh, in Discord post. You can do that? Okay, wait, देखता हूँ। ये था ना? This is an answer. Oh, can I just do this? Will it work? Okay. चलो ठीक है, शेयर कर देते हैं। If it doesn't work, you guys can let me know. I'll not be able to help. जो है सो है। जाने नहीं देंगे तुझे, जाने तुझे। देखो केडी में करना ही मेरे लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है। बाय द वे वरु, लाइक दिस थिंग वॉट एवर आई एम डूइंग राइट, आई एम जस्ट ड्रैगिंग थिंग्स अलोंग। ये सब चीज़ें भाई दिमाग खराब हो जाता पूरा। लाइक आई एम जस्ट गेटिंग यू, इट्स प्रोबेबली लाइक आई नो दैट पीपल डू, लाइक इतना भी नहीं है इम्पोर्टेंस एक इन सब चीज़ों की, टाइलिंग एंड ऑल, इफ़ यू जस्ट यूज़ योर माउस एंड ऑल। बट चलो ठीक है, स्टार्ट करें, आगे बढ़ते हैं। Hyperlink is built different, yes, exactly. Hyperlink is like also for mouse. ठीक है, इधर देखो guys, we are going to look at test. I think they are checking thread safe block. What I want to see is whether they are able to. What are they doing over here? Okay, so they, like in NumPy in F2PY operations, what they have done is they have introduced uh, a thread safe statement which uses begin allow threads and end allow threads block around the call to Fortran on C Python, which essentially means that this means that they are basically releasing GIL. Okay, so I do want to see where have they used. So let's go for proper examples. तब तक सब लोग गाना गाओ। ला 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 ला। Test structure thread safety. Thread safety नहीं देखना है, we have to check for thread safe. Yeah, class T50 thread safe. PyTest marks skip if is wasm cannot start thread. Okay, test empty same whatever it is. Okay, मैं देख लेता हूँ कितना है क्या है test. So in within this class they are having multiple threads. So over here we are initializing, okay, I want threads that is 16 and input shape should be 800 comma 200. Do you guys know what is F50? Anyone who wants to give it a chance? Come on guys, everyone has done engineering over here, or if they are not, they are probably doing it now. Do you know what is F50? I'll give you 5 seconds, everyone. Whoever answers gets a prize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shame. Proper shame. Fast Fourier transform. बहुत लेट था, 5 सेकंड हो चुके थे वरु. It's very late. कोई बात नहीं, ट्रांसफॉर्म तो लिखना चाहिए था ना, फास्ट फॉरवर्ड लिख के छोड़ देने का बस, टीचर अपने आप समझ जाएगा। हाँ, अब 5 सेकंड के बाद लिखे हो तुम। Oh, sorry, but I think signals and all. Okay, so in our college, we had 2 years of compulsory electronics, and then we were taught only computer science. So all electronics people were taught 2 years of computer science along with electronics as well, and we were taught both electronics and computer science. So that's why I do know about Arduino and stuff and all microcontrollers. That. What the Varu, then it took you more time than I expected. एंड वाई डू यू नॉट नो देव अबाउट फास्ट फूड ट्रांसफॉर्म? ठीक है, नहीं पढ़ा कंप्यूटर साइंस, पढ़ना चाहिए ये सब। क्या पता कोई स्ट्रीम में आके पूछ लेगा तो। मैथ्स एट फोरियर ट्रांसफॉर्म, यस, गुड विक्स, दैट्स इट। ये लोग समझते नहीं है भाई, बच्चे लोग हैं, छोड़ो, मत बात करो इनसे। अरे, इंजीनियरिंग मैथ्स एट F50, इंजीनियरिंग मैथ्स हमें नहीं पढ़ाई गई थी, उनको पता था कि हमें नहीं आएगा। ओनली पर्पस ऑफ दिस वाज टू पास एग्जाम। F50 इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, कभी कभी देखना कि उसके क्या क्या यूजेस हैं, बट वो कॉलेज में नहीं पढ़ाते ना। दिक्कत ये है, इन कॉलेज वाले केयर भी नहीं करते कि नहीं आता छोड़ो, आंसर क्यों नहीं लिखा। गैस एक बात है, समवन फॉलोड मी टुडे, आई एम वेरी प्राउड, एट द सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम एक ही फॉलोअर बढ़ा मेरा आज। हाँ भाई, देखूंगा। ये थोड़ा वियर्ड है ना। चलो शब्द नहीं बढ़ते, समझ में आता है। क्या हो गया विक्स, सॉरी। नो, सो आई वाज जस्ट चेकिंग कि हाउ मेनी न्यू फॉलोअर्स आई हैव। व्हाट इज स्ट्रीम इंजन? स्टीम इंजन, हाँ पता है, मैं नहीं बताऊंगा, बट मुझे पता है। आई नो एवरीथिंग। देयर यू गो, आई नो योर ट्रिक्स, यू कैन आस्क मी। ठीक है ना, ऐसा ऐसे ही नहीं स्ट्रीमर बन जाते, ठीक है, मैकेनिकल फ्रेंड्स लमा। ये बहुत बहुत बेशर्म इंसान है, ठीक है, ये बहुत मस्ती करने लगा है। सो यू डिडंट लर्न स्टीम इंजन? नहीं, आई डिड नॉट लर्न, बट आई लर्नड खुद से। मैं दिन भर बैठ के स्टीम इंजन पढ़ता हूँ। आई कैन क्रिएट अ स्टीम इंजन फॉर यू। इट कैन बी अ स्ट्रक्ट, इट कैन बी अ क्लास। व्हाट अ जोक बॉयज। ओके, एनीवेज, कैप, कैप, कहाँ है कैप? विच कैप आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट? बगी आते हैं, बगी जाता है। बगी इज लाइक बैंगलोर ट्रैफिक, कैप मीन्स लाइक, ओ व्हाट, ये कब हुआ? When did this happen? When did cap mean lie? कुछ भी मतलब, कुछ भी बोलने का है। हाँ, तुम लोग को लगता है मैं बस कुछ भी हूँ, कुछ भी बोल दोगे समझ जाऊंगा। अर्बन डिक्शनरी यस्टरडे, ये कैसी कैसी बातें करते हो? अर्बन डिक्शनरी, कैप, कैप मीन्स नथिंग। Anyone who says cap is either lying to you or he does not want you to accept the truth that you are very intelligent. ये लिखा हुआ आ रहा है। That no no, कुछ भी भाई, यहाँ पे तो कुछ और लिखा हुआ आ रहा था। शे, कुछ भी। The slang term cap is used to indicate that someone is lying or making a false statement. Okay. I know, and I know when I think about it, whenever I should stream, I should have a GIL in my life. Global Interpreter Lock, Global Streamer Lock, GSL. I'm streaming, everything is locked. If there's an IO bound operation, that means there's a family emergency or anything of that sort, the GIL is released. The Global Streamer Lock, GSL is released. Bakandi. एक तो ये निहाल ने या तो कभी पी नहीं है, या फिर इसको बगाड़ी बहुत पसंद एक्चुअली। सब बातें मत क्या करो, ड्रिंक नहीं करना चाहिए, मैं नहीं करता। इट क्रैश फॉर मी। वरु तुम यूज़ नहीं करते हो ढंग से, ठीक है। मुझे अभी तक इट हैज़ नॉट इवन क्रैश फॉर मी इवन आफ्टर अपग्रेडिंग हाइपरलैंड, इट्स लाइक द वर्स्ट। नॉट गुड। आई एफ आई ना, जस्ट स्टार्ट विद हाइपर डॉट्स, ठीक है, क्योंकि देर सम एनवीडिया स्पेसिफिक कॉन्फिग एंड ऑल, डी हैव ADHD। अरे, बकार्डी नहीं अभी तो। मैं नहीं भाई, कुछ भी। आई बीन यूजिंग हाइपरलैंड फॉर ईयर नाउ, राइट? तुम लोग यहाँ पे रेस्पॉन्स करना सीख गए हो। वाह, मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, दिस कैन बिकम अ थ्रेड। वाह, बट दिस इज नॉट थ्रेड सेफ। वाह, I mean, a lot of people say that I do, but I deny it. What is ADHD? मुझे कुछ तो पता था इस बारे में, बट नहीं पता इतना. I don't know what is ADHD ज़्यादा. But check out hyperdots. Now, start from there. So threading the thread target equal to worker. So this is the function that we are going to call, and we are going to put something in queue. What means is that we are going to call a function with some arguments, and then we are going to put the output in the queue. Okay. I think I've self-diagnosed ADHD. I did engineering and I ADHD. पता है शायद मुझे. Wait, let me think about it. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, right? Yes. हाँ, मुझे पता था. Easy. इन तुम लोग को combinations. चलो ठीक है. Enough of break, guys. Let's study. Okay, बहुत हो गया. Okay, what is happening? I'm using the auto-generated hyperlink config. It does work well for most of the part. I just did something wonky with laptop which caused it to crash. मैं तो sticking सारे. नहीं यार, मैं ये सब नहीं करता. शे कुछ भी. शे नहीं. राम 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 राम. I'm using the auto-generated hyperlink. What is auto-generated hyperlink? ये कौन सा? ये कहाँ से कर लिया? क्लाउडे को पूछा क्या? एस्पिरेटिस मैथ नहीं भाई, ये सब कुछ भी, मतलब कुछ भी ये सब नहीं करता. गॉड नोस व्हाट द. तुम लोग कितने बुरे हो भाई. चलो इधर देखो, ध्यान दो. So spin off a bunch of threads to call the same function simultaneously. This is what they're doing. They're just checking if a particular function is thread safe or not. Oh, okay. नहीं यार, that's why is happening ना. You need to know उसके पास कुछ तो white लगा है. भाई मुझे पता नहीं है मैथ होता क्या है. बाय द वे, आई डोंट इवन नो हाउ टू यूज इट. ये सब चीज़ें हम बहुत कुछ भी बातें कर रहे हो. चलो इधर देखो, वो लाइट है, वाइट लाइट आ रही है. फॉर आई इन रेंज सेल द थ्रेड्स एसर्ट एरे यू कुक इट एट होम. हाँ, मेथी की बात कर रहे हो क्या? मेथी तो ऑफ कोर्स यस, बट मैं मेथी खाता नहीं हूँ. मसाला मेथी. भाई मेरे यहाँ छापा पड़ जाएगा फालतू में. ठीक है, कुछ नहीं होने का है. उनको मिलेगा नहीं फालतू में. लैपटॉप और जब्त कर लेंगे. मसाला मेथी. मेथी मसाला डोसा. यस. सो इधर देखो, फॉर आई इन रेंज सेट द थ्रेड्स एसेट एरे इक्वल क्यू डॉट गेट टाइम आउट इक्वल टू 5. व्हाई डू यू डू टाइम आउट क्यू? अरे क्यू में टाइम आउट होता है. फंक्शन रिटर्न नॉर्मली इन मल्टी थ्रेडेड कॉन्टेक्स्ट. नहीं, आई डोंट नो. इधर देखो, तुम लोग बिल्कुल भी ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हो यार. यहाँ बैठ के मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. यू गाइस वांट टू टॉक अबाउट मसाला मेथ डोसा. बहुत गलत बात है. मैं स्ट्रीमिंग छोड़ रहा हूँ. To all my 151 followers, don't unfollow me. I'm not leaving streaming. It's just like I never started as well. पानी पीने की ज़रूरत है मुझे. पता है, दिस इज़ द बिगेस्ट रिलीफ. जब भी पानी पीना हो, ऐसे चूस के पीने का बहुत अच्छा लगता है. फोकस. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, फोकस. ये बार बार तुम मुझे बोल रहे हो ना. ठीक है. So anyways, looks like this that FFT function is thread safe. Now our challenge for this stream is to figure out how whether this FFT function calls the py begin. So I'm, of course, if it has to be thread safe, it has to have py begin allow threads. Okay. चूस के कुछ और भी पीते हैं जूस फ्रॉम स्ट्रॉ. यस. नाउ आई कैन नॉट अपलोड दिस ऑन यूट्यूब. शाबाश. तुम लोग एक से एक हो. ठीक है. लाइक मुझे अब बैठ के वाई इज माई यूट्यूब डेड? क्यों? क्योंकि आई थिंक कि आई स्ट्रीम ऑन ट्विच, आई पुट द रिकॉर्डिंग. ठीक है. एक देव भाई साहब है, वो आके नहीं, मुझे नहीं करना कटवट. मैं लिनक्स पे हूँ, मैं नहीं कर रहा ये सब. नो नो नो, आई डू अनदर स्ट्रीम. आई होप दैट नेक्स्ट टाइम कुछ नहीं होगा. कोई नहीं. ठीक है भाई, कौन सा सब्सक्राइबर्स के लिए जी रहे हैं? एज लॉन्ग एज वी गाइस आर एंजॉय. नहीं होता है मेरे को ये सब, नहीं करना है मेरे को. व्हाट डिड आई डू? अच्छा बेटा, ये देखो वरु, इसको बताओ क्या करता है ये इंसान. एनीवेज ठीक है. ये क्या चल रहा है स्वराज चैट में? मैंने भी देखा. मेरे को दे देना. आई डू इट फॉर यू. आई हैव केडीएन लाइव इंस्टॉल्ड. केडीएन लाइव मेरे पास भी होना चाहिए. हो गया जी. नहीं नहीं, सॉरी 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 नहीं आया, ठीक है भाई। देखो हम बुली करते हैं बस, हायर एंटर के आर भाई, पैसा नहीं है ब्रो, पैसा। पैसा देख तमाशा देख, तमाशा देख, पैसा फेंक। तुम लोग को पता है, दिस वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग आई वांटेड टू शो यू गाइस। तुम लोग गाइस डोंट वांट टू, बुरी बात भाई। एक्चुअली पता है, पैसा नहीं है, नहीं बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। आई टेल यू वन थिंग, एक कॉफ़ी कप लगेगा बस फॉर मी, तो बस फिर तो चलेगा। बट आई डोंट वांट यू टू पे टू अर्न लेस फॉर डूइंग दिस स्टफ बडी, इट्स वेरी बैड। चलो इधर देखो, इधर देखो। सो वी आर इन रॉ F50 फंक्शन, ठीक है। वी डोंट केयर व्हाट डज इट डू, बट वी वांट टू गो बैक एंड सी कि विच फंक्शन डज इट कॉल, राइट? सो अब looks like this ufunc is like universal functions, we have read about it थोड़ा। F50 array function dispatch भी हमने already देख लिया है, but this is probably a, can I start buy me a coffee, I'll pay you for 2 coffees. Buy me a coffee, start buy me a coffee, I'll pay you for 2 coffees. Oh, oh, क्यों? मेरे को कॉफ़ी नहीं पसंद, मैं ऑफिस में फ्री कॉफ़ी है, मैं मेरे को कॉफ़ी नहीं पीनी, राइट? हाँ, आई थिंक फॉर वन नाइट इनफ टू इट। 2 coffees for one night. You were saying I will guys something 2 minutes ago. Buy me a coffee link. हाँ वो करना पड़ेगा विक्स। Show you guys something. क्या करना है मुझे? क्या दिखाना है तुम्हें? I'll do it for one NGL. हाँ I was showing you something. Yes. I'll do it for one. Not gonna. तुम लोग जो बातें कर रहे हो ना, मुझे चैट में भेज देना, ठीक है? जो भी समझ में भी कुछ एरर बात है, मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा। हाँ यस यस निहाल, आई शो यू। विक्स एंड निहाल दोनों फोकस इंसान है। बगी टैप स्विच करके आता है और फिर डांटता हुआ चला जाता है। एंड वरु एंड देव डोंट केयर कि क्या ही हो जाएगा, अपने को थोड़ा ना पाइथन यूज़ करनी है। एक को रस्ट करना है, एक को जावा करना है, एक वी एस कोड यूज़ करता है, एक कुछ भी यूज़ करता है। सो दैट्स जस्ट होल लाइफ, राइट? चलो इधर देखते हैं। एनीवेज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू शो वाज, राइट नाउ व्हाट वी वांट टू डू इज वी वांट टू फिगर आउट कि F50 फंक्शन के अंदर आर दे हैंडलिंग GIL, लाइक आर दे रिलीजिंग GIL और नॉट, ठीक है? सो आई व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज व्हाट वी कैन डू इज प्रोबेबली लुक फॉर, सो दिस इज थिंग इन Emacs। मेरे को पाइथन नहीं आता सर, मैं जावास्क्रिप्ट वाला हूँ। तुम्हें जावास्क्रिप्ट अच्छे से आती क्या? हाँ स्वराज, तुम्हें याद है मुझे, योर पोर्टफोलियो वाज रियली गुड यार। Good, good, my friend. I think F50 is different, right? In that case, F50 is a whole different module. NumPy.F50 इसमें नहीं है क्या? Why is this? That's the only thing that you have in Python or PyBegin allow threads? क्यों? Or have they made another PyNPy? अरे यार, ये लोग सब अपना बनाते हैं, ठीक है? Everyone wants to create their own. NPy begin allow threads. So this is what we were looking for. So what we can do is we can search for F50 here, which was not found. F2py not found. क्यों? Okay, there are not a lot of instances, by the way. So define npy. As you can see, it if npy allow threads. अब allow threads देखना जरूरी थोड़ा ना है। Oh हाँ, I think this is how they're using then. I'm still hopeful. Search field बता रहा है। Multi-array ufunc object npy loops allow threads is equal to 1. So as you can see, if npy allow threads is 1, always allow threading unless it was explicitly disabled at build time, okay? So for a few operations, NumPy does release GIL by default. For example, when you're doing indexing, it does release GIL, okay? So these things are important. I just want to see ki, how do I figure out, how do I end up figuring out कि F50 के लिए इन्होंने किया हुआ है? I don't think, I was just trying to search if there's a better way to look at it, but looks like it's more like relevant to F50 का जो फंक्शन है। आई थिंक इनिशियली इंटरनली कुछ और फंक्शन कॉल कर रहा है, राइट? रॉ एफ टी इफ नॉट इज फॉरवर्ड स्पैम डायरेक्शन कैलकुलेट द नॉमिनेशन नॉम इक्वल टू दिस, ये रिलेवेंट नहीं है। विच इज द, लाइक आई वांट टू लुक फॉर F50 implementation. This just looks like pfu.rff50 and even this just looks like math operation, nothing else. Normalize access index, result type, empty like, yeah, nothing relevant here as well. empty like में किया है क्या इन्होंने? convert to ma. I think so. They are, is this a Python implementation? Do you guys know what is Python, by the way? Anyone? From buffer, convert functions from numpy to numpy.ma. Oh, no. What is this RST? RST is here like when you propose something, right? So these are RST files, okay. In that case, they just write a document more like a markdown as well. But just seeing that it's a proposal, the compiler for Python. That is C Python, buddy. Python is like a C implementation, not implementation, but you can optimize things. Whatever you write in Python, you can expose that back to Python, but writing it in C extensions. So you can actually explore that. It's very interesting. These are like just use C extensions. So as I said, Python has a C API, right? So you can call that in C and implement this, and it's really nice. Oh, I see. Yes. तो काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें, for example, if you're doing very heavy competition and all, can, oh, is it dead? Oh, are you following Sendex? Sendex was our, oh, thanks, yeah. Oh, that's how my streams viewers are coming. Sendex is a pretty chat developer. ये मत देखो, क्यों ना देखें. But ChatGPT is alive अभी, or is it still dead? Okay, it's dead. Anyways, ठीक है. What I'm curious about is कि कैसे, how are they checking if they are, if it's, I was just hoping that we'll be able to check out np.fft.if50 rf50. How is it thread safe? When did they add this? First of all, class f50. Let's just see. Make it blame hai kya? Yeah, there you go, right? So this was 2020. Remove implicit inference, make test. Okay, yeah. I think 2014 they did this. Okay, probably make it release GIL. So let's, for, it says degraded performance. Kaha? For ChatGPT, you mean? So let's go here and let's look at pull requests. Okay, and let's see release ChatGPT. Okay, are, so release GIL. Okay, I think this is different. Yeah, देखो, for example, over here, we did see that F2PY module has thread safe now. This adds 2 new flags to F2PY CLI, defaulting to require CIL. Okay, you can have no require CIL as well. This allows F2PY to generate modules that declare the support running without the GIL. Okay. I did an audit on the LAPAC wrappers in F2PY. I think it's implemented somewhere else, and that's why we're missing out. So F2PY callback goes user routines.c. If define, this is how they were checking, bhai sahab. That local define. Ralph used to be my manager in my previous company, guys. He's one of the best guys I've ever seen, worked with as well. Just want to see. I'm just looking at changes. देखते हैं कहाँ क्या चेंज किया है. This is just adding a flag now, nothing else. कुछ, yeah, there you go, right? If pi GIL disabled, signal whether this module supports running with the GIL disabled. Unstable module set GIL. Okay, so they are using this unstable module set GIL thing. Okay, what's this now? Where is my numpy? What was it? Py unstable. कहाँ था, कहाँ गया? Unstable module. Oh, sorry, it's pi unstable module set GIL. I do want to look at the definition next second. It's used everywhere. Pi GIL disable. So you can also disable GIL and then you can use this, right? So can I probably search for define? नहीं, ऐसे ही अलग से सर्च करते हैं, बेटर रहेगा. कहाँ 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 implementation? ये रहा क्या? नहीं, ये तो कुछ और है. Where have they defined it though? अच्छा, this is pi unstable. This is in Python. Sorry guys. This is in Python. This is not Python भी क्या बोल रहा हूँ? C Python. So if you go and look at this, ठीक है, and you do इधर, you search for it here, and then you search for pi unstable module set GIL. So we were doing this wrong either. Yeah, there you go. There you go. This is not. What is this about? ये तो अलग है. Ta, 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 ta. These are all docs. अरे यार, by the way, Dev, what you asked na, those are RSTs is different, and there used to be a thing called. If you guys are ever interested in how, I think maybe related to something that, Varu, are you here? Are these RSTs only? So PyTorch has a repository about all the design decisions they make. Okay. So, okay. So I'll show you something probably useful for you. Man, they have so many things now. They update so many. What does it stand for? R. I forgot what is it really like. So they okay. Just need to go through one more. RFCs, yes. So RFCs are different. That's if you guys want to ever look at this, it's very RST. I don't know. Romance standard time. Huh. Restructure text. Restructure text. File format for textual data used in Python programming language community for technical discussion. Wow. Why? So this is very important. If anyone wants to look at this, like for example, generalized PyTorch config for non-native device execution. Then they create a RFC where all these discussions happen, initial discussions. Not as for real. I don't know, bro. I don't know. इस बार पे तो मैं कुछ कमेंट कर भी नहीं सकता, क्यों कुछ पता ही नहीं क्यों करते हैं ये सब चीज़ें ही इतनी. कहाँ है तो छुप, ये रहा, दे देखो. सो पाई, अरे ये भी नहीं है. वेयर इज इट डिफाइंड, ये भी नहीं है. अरे markdown came later, could be a lot of things like ये सब होता रहता है. I think this is CCLS cache, this is not relevant. पता नहीं कहाँ है. Has been there before markdown. नहीं, PyTorch didn't have RSTs. That's Python language community. So PyTorch is RFC. RFC is different. RFC is probably like something under review or something like that. Something of that sort. मैं क्या कर रहा था? I was going through what? C Python, right? I want to see कि when was it introduced? By the way, guys, अगर कभी भी हो ना तो do look at the patches. Oh, this guy did commit something अभी. So this is the guy who introduced the latest patch for. देखो garbage collector support for deferred ref counting. The free threaded GC now visits interpreter stacks to keep okay. So this is like, look at this, how they are. Do they work? How do they start contributing here? Python core dev. Nice. Just good to see some Indians making their name out for people. Async IO maintainer. Fees को request for change, I think. हाँ, request for change हो सकता है. Yes, makes sense. So this is what we discussed right last time, right? Kumar साहब का बेटा. It's very interesting. I'll not lie at all. But so हो क्या रहा है? Now, looks like what they're doing is they are following the garbage collector approach instead of ref counting now to support the whole GIL, getting rid of it. But it should be an optional thing, right? They'll not do it. Anyways, I was looking for pi unstable module set GIL. So they renamed. The pi unstable prefix has defined semantics in workflow and generates a note in the docs. ये तो कुछ सिर्फ रीनेम है. Yes. This PR has the ability to enable the GIL. It was disabled at interpreter startup and modifies the multiphase. This and all. Ta 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 ta. So where are they using this? Pi module. So they renamed somewhere. Is it a bug? Pi unstable module set GIL. कहाँ है ये पाई मॉड्यूल? अरे यार क्या था पाई मॉड्यूल? पाई मॉड्यूल ही था ना? या पाई अनस्टेबल मॉड्यूल सेट GIL कहाँ है? और oh, so they only have it here. So they used to have it by module experimental set GIL. Look at this. Alright, Swaraj, back to NeoVim, huh? What motivated you to go back from GNOME and VS Code to NeoVim, by the way? Guys, if you want to join our Discord. Dr. Nihal Kumar. What about Nihal? क्या हो गया? अच्छा निहाल कुमार. Oh, sorry, yes, makes sense. कहाँ डिफाइंड है ये? Yes यार, क्या हो गया? तो अच्छा, so that motivated you to, so why not go to hyperlink then? I missed the joke. Too late bro. अब नहीं बताएंगे, ध्यान नहीं है तुम्हारा. So they renamed it all. But define तो किया होगा ना कहीं, या फिर where does it come from? Why do you? तो बाद में देखेंगे, चलो छोड़ो. क्यों नहीं उबंटू के साथ? अच्छा आर्क के साथ गुड है. So why do you use उबंटू? मैं तो केडी वाला था वैसे तो. केडी यूज केडी नहीं यार, लाइक केडी में जब तक टाइलिंग नहीं आएगी एंड ऑल. i3 सेटअप भी अच्छा है. आई डू यूज इट फॉर 30% of my time. There is nothing private, I hope, right? So you have awesome. ऊपर क्या लिखा है? अरे what the fuck? मदर इसको देखो नालायक को. मदर use my i3 setup. It won't Like new one doesn't wink wink. Crazy. Buffet coach switch, auto start new one. Looks clean. Nice यार. What's so special but awesome? थोड़ा डाइवर्ट हो जाए कैसा guys? Is it okay? I think I've used awesome पहले जब uh, I loved it. अभी तक are they still? What happened to awesome? Is it dead or something? Or they just don't need it any, like even with i3 you don't need to keep on contributing, right? Not dead but complete, I see. It is for X. लोआ है कॉन्फ़िग के लिए, अरे वाह. गेम कंप्लीटेड. लोआ है कॉन्फ़िग के लिए, ओके ओके ओके. नाइस. So new way and Lua you can mix, like okay. There are still some issues, bug confirmed, but they've not fixed it or something, huh? I'm gonna play GTA now. भाई मेरा भी बहुत मन करता है. चलो आज के लिए by the way guys, I think I'm very tired. Let me just go to chatting mode or something. If anyone is here guys, you can say hi. CS:GO stream. I don't know यार, मेरे अभी तक Linux पे CS:GO is not working yet. ढंग से वर्क नहीं कर रहा है. स्पीड रन GTA 5. अब विंडोज़ हटा दिया था मैं पूरी. बाय द वे आई शुड ऑर्डर फूड. बहुत भूख लग रही है. क्या खाओगे बताओ? हाय बोलो वरना कुकी चुरा लेंगे. गाइस तुम लोगों ने वो देखा? गाइस की क्या बात कर रहा हूँ, बगी. चिकन स्टिक नहीं, ऑर्डर सम चिकन भाई. चिमकन. नहीं चिकन विकन नहीं खाता मैं, नॉन वेज नहीं हूँ मैं. आई वॉज थिंकिंग बगी, हैव यू बीन टू HSR हाई स्ट्रीट? बाबाई टिफिन्स है वहाँ पे. एंड दे मेक रियली 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 गुड डोसा. यप देयर यू गो, फाउंड इट, HSR लेआउट. आई एम गोना ऑर्डर डोसा. बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा डोसा. ही इज़ प्योर वेजिटेरियन बट ड्रिंक्स अल्कोहल एंड डज ड्रग्स. भाई कुछ भी ड्रग्स वग्स नहीं है. नहीं ये मजाक कुछ भी. ओ वाओ इट्स मोर एक्सपेंसिव यहाँ पे. इट्स 139 ऑन. ठीक है, मतलब यहाँ पे 139 का है. एंड इट्स कॉस्टिंग मी, दो डोसा आर कॉस्टिंग मी 455. बट व्हेन आई एम देयर, sorry, yes, I was joking. She knows me. But when I go there, it's around 85 rupees per piece, and you can have 5 dosa. देख रहे हो कितना कितना कमाता है भाई स्विगी. कॉस्ट तो बताओ ढंग की. बुरे लोग हैं भाई, छोड़ो. जहाँ जाके खाना पड़ेगा अब. मेरा मन नहीं है बिल्कुल भी जाने का कहीं भी. बहुत थक रहा हूँ मैं. मैगी बना ले क्या? टेल नंबर इज इन इंग्लिश. ओ सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी. सो 85 रुपीज़ इज़ वॉट इट कॉस्ट देयर. पनीर वगैरह डोसा में क्या ही है. डोसा में आलू. डोसा डोसा स्ट्रीम भाई कुछ. 85 it costs there, and it gives me 135 or something on Swiggy. And then if I order 2 dosa, that is 135 into 2. उसके बाद it costs me 455 rupees. Yes, 85 rupees for one dosa. बैंगलोर है भाई. डोसा में क्या ही है. यार पनीर नहीं, रोटी सब्जी खा लूँ क्या मैं फिर? मैगी खा लूँ बेटर है. व्हाट डज इट? आधा लिख के एंटर कर दिया गया. वो लेट्स ऑर्डर होमली से ऑर्डर कर लेते हैं. वो डू ऐड सम सॉल्ट टू मैगी मेक्स इट टेस्टियर. I'm thinking to have some just मटर पनीर एंड रोटी. ट्रफल से पनीर, मुझे पनीर नहीं पसंद यार, इतना प्रॉब्लम ये है. इट्स नॉट दैट, इट्स जस्ट लाइक गो टू जीएफ नहीं. प्लीज पुट रिलेवेंट लिंक्स टू मैगी कैंसर आर्टिकल. अरे आई वाज अबाउट टू. अरे भाई मैगी प्लीज नहीं भाई, नहीं ऐसे मत करो. ठीक है, डोंट डोंट डू दिस टू मी. आई जस्ट हैव राजमा चावल, छोड़ो. बाहर में गई दुनिया. नहीं खाऊंगा मैं खाना, चाहो. चलो एनीवेज, I guess guys it's time for me to crash before I crash myself. Thank you so much for being here. The new follower was Zilly009. Thank you so much. Rajma is good choice. Yes. Sir, do you know Maggie was actually banned for a period of time? Yes, and they made a comeback. ठीक है, तो तुम मेरे को अब परेशान मत करो, ऐसे खाने दो, ज़िंदगी में जीने दो थोड़ा. Don't make me do things. चलो, but thank you everyone for being here. um, Comeback more like scam. Nestle by the way is bad particles. No. भाई मैं जा रहा हूँ यार. कितना परेशान, कोई खाए बिना इंसान. राजमा चावल कहाँ से मंगवाऊँ, लेकिन पॉइंट ये है, होमली से ही मंगवाऊँ. रोटी भी मंगवा लेता हूँ. प्रैक्टिस रे. अच्छा, बैड प्रैक्टिसेस. 7 mark, 7 mark 7 even. Hi brother, thank you so much for joining us. This is the first time here. Welcome. I'm just about to end the stream. Good to have you here. How are you doing? So you will have nightmares today. NH1 क्या हाल. अच्छा, NH1 से भाई ने पहचाना नहीं यार, बहुत टाइम हो गया. फर्स्ट वन, दिस इज योर फर्स्ट टाइम चैट. हाउ वुड आई. 7 marks 7 even. 7 marks 7 even. कभी ये देखो यहाँ पे बग आ गई. क्लोज कैसे करूँ. मिशन पास्ट. NH1 से अच्छा आता है क्या. NH1 सरजापुर मेन रोड. फेक अकाउंट है भाई मेरा ये. अरे 7 LAI नहीं याद आ रहा है. 7. सॉरी, आई एम सो सॉरी यार. आई एम गेटिंग ओल्ड बहुत ज़्यादा. दैट कुड बी द रीज़न. L-AI. लेवल AI. लाइटनिंग AI. अरे भाई, अच्छा अच्छा, रोहित है क्या. लाइटनिंग AI. वाह, सब लोग समझ गए, मैं ही नहीं समझा. नाइस. सॉरी यार. रोहित ही है क्या, और कोई. भाई अरे क्या हो गया. पहले बताओ कौन है. रोहित ही है. हाँ राइट. हाउ आर यू ब्रदर. आई एम गुड यार. उसको पूछो सुबह क्या खाया था, वो याद नहीं होगा तुमको. लेकर यार मैं वो राजमा चावल ऑर्डर कर रहा था. बहुत दिक्कत हो जाती है जब पैसे जाते हैं ना. एक्चुअली बाय द वे, बगी थैंक यू सो मच यार. थोड़ा महंगा पड़ रहा है बट ठीक है. डिलीवरी फ़ी क्यों चाहिए भाई. भाग में नहीं. बड़े लोग हैं भाई, बैंक में काम करते हैं. अरे बैंक नहीं, कुछ भी मतलब कुछ भी बोलने का है. छोले खाते हैं. छोले खा सकते हैं गाइस, किसी को छोला खाना है छोला. बट पता है प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना, ये दीज पीपल डोंट कुक वेल. आई विल टेल यू, लाइक बाहर का खाना NH1 एंड ऑल पता नहीं कैसा रहता है. टू डिलीवर डिलीवरी फ़ी. मैंने जस्ट अभी छोले खाए तो ठीक है, आज छोले खाएंगे. अमृतसरी छोले. भाई अच्छा है दिलाया, खाना तो मुझे भी ऑर्डर करना है. डैम, कुलचे भी बनते हैं फिर तो. अरे कुछ भी नहीं है भाई, इतना पैसा. बताया तुम लोग को, सुनते नहीं हो तुम लोग मेरी बातें. मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैगी बना के खा लूँ बस. है ना. छोड़ो ये सब कहाँ. क्यों पैसा वेस्ट करना है. लंच बॉक्स सक्स. यस, लंच बॉक्स ख़राब है बहुत. नीचे की ग्रोसरी स्टोर से ले आओ कुलचे. कमान मैदे के पराठे देते हैं इंसान. हाँ, वो मुझे भी लगता था. सो वरू वी यूज टू ऑर्डर, लाइक मैं भी लंच बॉक्स यहाँ पे एक है, वहाँ से कुलचे ऑर्डर किए थे. अरे नहीं यार. बाकी पैसे बचाऊँ या मैगी खा लूँ, मतलब पैसे बचाऊँ या राजमा नहीं छोले चावल ऑर्डर करूँ. चलो बताओ, जल्दी बताओ. 231 का पड़ रहा है भाई, बहुत महंगा है. खा लो यार, फिर पूरे हफ्ते न हो जाए केस. यस. ओला से करो. ओला एक बार कर लिया मैंने, आई डोंट थिंक उसके बाद भी मिलता है क्या ऑफर. अभी तक मिल रहा है क्या. बाय कुलचे ऑलवेज बाय खुद से एंड मेक इट. ऐसा क्या. पैसा बचा के पेट क्यों खराब करना है. ओह ठीक है, चलो आई विल ऑर्डर फ्रॉम ओला देन. एंड आई विल ईट गाइस. रोहित अच्छा लगा है यार, ट्राई कर. गेस क्रिस्पी मशरूम. ट्रैक कैलिफोर्निया ब्रेड तो मुझे बहुत पसंद है भाई, सीरियसली। 50% ऑफ ऑन योर फर्स्ट, और कुछ ढंग के हेल्दी खा के सो जा, वरना अभी राजमा स्ट्रीम। राजमा मैंने बनाया था बाय द वे, अभी अभी आज वापस मैं छोले लगाऊंगा, कल छोले बना दूंगा। देन आई विल प्लान टू। वीसी का पैसा उठा रहे हैं भावेश, कह सकते हो। इधर है क्या, डू दे हैव NH1? ओ दे हैव, ओला में दे हैव NH1 फ्लैट परसेंट, फ्लैट 40% ऑफ प्लस फ्री डिलीवरी दे हैव। बट देख रहे हो खेल क्या खेल रहे हैं, 175 का पड़ रहा है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, वाइल इट वाज 139 का स्विगी पे। सो ओवरऑल हाउ मच डज इट कॉस्ट मी? इट कॉस्ट मी 183, ठीक है, एंड इवन आफ्टर डिस्काउंट ऑफ 87, एंड स्विगी में पड़ा है तो 220। इट्स अ होल प्ले मैन, इट्स अ होल प्ले। सब के सब झूठ बोल रहे हैं भाई। अरे बट आई, हाँ ठीक है, सस्ता पड़ रहा है, बट 50% ऑफ जैसा कुछ है नहीं। जोमेटो में भी देखना पड़ेगा, अब जोमेटो का क्या सीन है, देखता हूँ। थोड़ा ऑफ स्ट्रीम देखता हूँ guys, थोड़ा रेस्ट करता हूँ फिर ऑर्डर करता हूँ। वेरी टायर्ड टुडे, वॉज लॉन्ग स्ट्रीम कुकिंग मैगी स्ट्रीम। मैगी मैं कुछ वैसा नहीं बनाता, लाइक पीपल मेक वेज मैगी एंड ऑल, मेरा मैगी इज लाइक प्लेन मैगी, इसलिए यही पॉइंट नहीं था। तुम लोग पागल हो जाओगे। बाय द वे, स्वराज, वेलकम बैक टू न्यू विम, गुड टू हैव मोर पीपल joining against. Anyways, thank you so much guys for being here. I do appreciate it. हिंदी का से फ्री में दे दो इन्हें, पढ़ने आए थे, पढ़ लिए, 7 मार्क्स 7 इवन भाई साहब। VS कोड, हाय हाय। ये रोहित तुम पहले क्यों नहीं आए? डिड यू नॉट सी माय VS कोड वाज वेरी स्लो? लॉल, शिट, यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड अ वॉर, यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड अ वॉर। बाय द वे, आई विल ट्राई टू शेयर द रिकॉर्डिंग, बट बहुत प्यारा था। आई, रोहित, इफ़ यू आर ऑन डिस्कॉर्ड, डू जॉइन ऑन डिस्कॉर्ड यार, क्योंकि यू डू यूज पाइथन। इमेक्स यूज़ कर लेता हूँ बट VS कोड तो नेवर, यस। बट ये ज़रूर देखना है कि निहाल नहीं हो रहा था कि ये वर्क नहीं कर रहा है। बट एनीवेज, ये लाइक ट्राई टू जस्ट, आई विल कॉपी द लिंक, कॉपी मैसेज लिंक और समथिंग, एवरीवन नोज व्हाट्स रियली स्लो। यस, दैट्स यू ऑन द बेड, सॉरी, you face issue, I don't, yes, skill issue. War, anyone that says electron as a performance can fight me any day. Yep, and for any reason, Badmiss Lona is good, that's what I use. ठीक है, अब ये बातें बहुत गलत जगह जा रही हैं, बट आई थिंक बगी हैज़ अ पॉइंट विद इलेक्ट्रॉन। You guys can share it, continue, and I don't use it, but yeah, I sent a video recording. Shits on electron proceeds to use electron apps. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, कंटिन्यू दिस डिस्कशन ऑन डिस्कॉर्ड गाइज, लेट्स chat again. Take care everyone, thank you so much for being here, bye bye.